the recent killing of Palestinians in the West Bank highlights the growing violence. How do you assess the escalation of this violence, particularly in the wake of the war on Gaza?
Good evening to you and your dear guest. Yes, the events in Gaza and the West Bank are interlinked. It is the same cause. During the events in Gaza and during the war in Gaza, like 800 martyrs fell in the West Bank as the Israeli forces never left the West Bank even during the war in Gaza. And the intensifying the bombing in the West Bank is completely linked to the agreement between Hamas and Israel for the exchange of hostages and the ceasefire. The result of this agreement was a conflict within the Israeli government, which led to the resignation of Ben Gvir and the threatening of Smotrich to tender his resignation, who remained in the government under certain conditions to continue the war after phase 1 of the agreement. In addition, that there were conditions to annex the West Bank. Netanyahu tried to satisfy the war wing, especially after the pressure Smotrich practiced after his statements to establish more settlements in the West Bank, and then the Israeli forces increased their presence in the West Bank. So far, Israeli officials are saying that the war in the West Bank and Jenin is now a war of targets and objectives. There are Israeli objectives to be achieved in the West Bank and especially in Jenin. The main goal here in Jenin, as indicated by the Israelis, that they need to cut the Iranian arms in the camp, especially the Jenin camp residents. What happened in Jenin, the complete evacuation and displacement of the Jenin camp, it is now an empty camp.